Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpokah. Welcome to another edition of the Haftarah Hashings. I'm your host, Rabbi Yehuda ben Shomer, and today is the 26th Haftarah portion, which is Shemini, which means 8th, and it's taken from 2 Samuel chapter 6, verses 1 all the way to chapter 7, verse 17. Now, the Torah portion deals with the death of Aaron's two sons, Nadab and Abihu, for offering strange fire unto the Lord. And it just goes way beyond that. Their intentions were good. They were drinking and they were celebrating the goodness of the Lord, and they had a little bit too much to drink, got a little tipsy. Then they said, hey, let's offer our, God told us to offer this incense to him, but let's make a special blend just for him. And they did, and they offered the strange fire unto the Lord in a drunken state, and boom, God zapped them. And now the Haftarah portion deals with David wanting to transport the ark back to Jerusalem. And here is where Uzzah dies, because as the ark is placed on the cart, which was a no-no, went across some patchy ground, and the oxen stumbled, and the ark looked as if it was going to tip over, and out of instinct and concern, good intentions, Uzzah reached out his hand, and as a result, he died. As they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But in the case of Nadab and Abihu and Uzzah, they couldn't claim freshman ignorance. Okay? They knew better. They knew what God said. Well, first of all, Nadab and Abihu, they were in a drunken state, and their judgment was impaired anyway, but they knew better. And Uzzah, being a Levitical priest, he knew that the ark was commanded to be transported on the shoulders of the priest by two poles, not on a cart. Not only that, but David knew better. Because you know what? When David mounted the throne of Israel, he was commanded by Torah to write out his own copy of the Torah scroll from Genesis to Deuteronomy. So he read all these laws and copied all these laws about the priest and how the ark is to be carried. And maybe he thought, you know what, I'm just going to, give God a real treat. I'm going to bring the ark in on this cart with music and dancing and pomp and circumstance and good intentions. But God said, look, that's not what I commanded. That's not what I said. That's not how I, want you to do things. So this goes to show that with God, there's a certain protocol. No matter how close or how intimate you are to God, there's a certain protocol. Just as you don't go before the presence of a king, bursting through the doors and ignoring the guard and say, "Hey, kingy, how you doing?" No, that doesn't go over well with a king. And if you go into a presidential, if you bust through all the guards and go to the president like that, you'd be shot before you got to the president. So there's protocol. There's a special way that says, you know what? God says, this is how I want you to approach me. Why? He's infinite. We're finite. We may not know all the answers or the reasons why, but because there's protocol in place, each step helps us to think, you know what? I'm going before the king. Each step says, oh, you know what? I need to really pay attention and watch what I'm doing. This is real serious business. I'm going before the creator of the universe, before my creator. He's my king, and yes, he's my loving father. But, just as a child has respect and reverential fear for a father, we have respect and reverential fear for God. And yeah, because of Messiah, we can come boldly to the throne of grace. It means we need no mediator, that Yeshua is our mediator, that we go through in Yeshua's name. But you know what? It still doesn't mean that we can go to him any old way we want or please. Me being a father, Ariana just can't have 100% 24/7 access to me anytime she wants. There's a protocol. Unless it's an emergency, if I'm doing a video, she knows not to bother me. If I'm in my Torah study, she knows not to bother me. If I'm praying, davening, she knows not to bother me. If she doesn't know what I'm doing, but I'm in the room, she has the respect, the protocol to knock on the door. And if I answer it, hey, I'm free. If not, she knows I heard the knock, and I'll get back with her as soon as I can. So even in an intimate father-son, father-daughter relationship, there's still protocol that needs to be followed. And we have to go to God with reverential fear, not cowering like the cowardly lion before the great Wizard of Oz, but with a reverential fear and respect and humility and love and devotion, and say, oh God, I come before you as your humble servant, as your child, as your son. I love you. Praise your name. I love you. Thank you so much. So there's a certain way that we need to go about things. So God lays out in his Torah how he wants things done. It's not our place to question it. And anyways, even if we question it, how can a finite creature totally comprehend the reasoning of an infinite God? Sometimes he gave us commandments. There's a certain set of commandments called hukim, which means there's no logical explanation. He just says do it, so do it. Just like a father telling a child, hey, I want you to do something. Why, Daddy? Because I said so. Because sitting there and explaining the whole thing, the whole logic and reason behind why you want them to do something, they're still going to ask why after that. And after that's going to be another why, and a why, and a why, and a why. They don't get it because they're young. They don't understand. So you just simply say, to save time and heartache and trouble and a waste of time, do it because I said so. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And that's the way God is sometimes. He gives us commands that we don't understand, don't totally get or comprehend, but that's okay. Just as on Babylon 5, where Lanier says to Delenn, she's like, do you understand what I just told you, the command I've given you? He said, no. But understanding is not a requirement. Obedience is. I know I paraphrased that, but it's the same with God. So the whole Torah portion is dealing with approaching God in the right way, the right heart, the right frame of mind, the right manner, with the right protocol, and that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's just that it's all a matter of obedience and love, performing that obedience. That's been the theme of the last couple of Haftarah portions. But anyways, hopefully, you read the Haftarah portion for yourself and the Torah portion, and you get a lot more out of it than I could ever bring out in these, 5 to 10 minutes. But anyway, shalom and Shavua Tov Mishpokat. We'll see you next time. Bye.